do you think? Good.
I see a little bit of my name on the window.
Oh, that's cool.
Like dots. See?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Good morning, everybody. It's Wednesday morning, November 29th, 2017. Grant's kind of fancy today. He found his suit and he wanted to wear it. He's wearing a tie, a vest, shirt, and pants, and his shoes. Look at that. Look at this guy. Styling. Looking good, bud. Love you. All right, get buckled up. We gotta get going. What are you doing?
I'm taking my coat off so I can't get buckled.
All right. You look nice. Oh man, Grant is one cool dude. So I didn't have any like really nice shirts for him to wear, and that's kind of like becoming his thing this year. Nice being like button up, button down shirts or whatever. He found his suit, and he's worn that thing like once. I think it was, I don't know if it was a holiday or a funeral. Might have been a funeral. And he had the full outfit. And I'm like, fuck. He pulled it out. He's like, hey, can I wear this? I was like, all right, sure, why not? Yeah, I don't know. I like it. So, I love how they sell like little boys outfits like that. They're like $10 or $14 or less, and it's got everything you need. So I was like, dude, why not, man? So he likes looking nice and all that. So I'm gonna kind of embrace that and run with that. You know, that's something that I don't want to say I regret, but just something I have yet to get around to doing. It's something I've always wanted to do, and that's mainly like go out, buy an entirely new wardrobe, something like completely different but age appropriate and nice. And I've been wanting to do that for years now, probably like over 5 years. It's either I don't have enough money, or like my work situation. I used to wear nice dress-up clothes to work, but I was destroying them. So now I've been wearing jeans and just t-shirts and stuff. But you know, like doing stuff like that makes you feel like a lot better. And when you feel a lot better, it makes you want to perform better and act nicer and all that stuff. So there's a lot of things that go along with your perceived image or your desired projection of yourself. And we're gonna see how this goes. But you know, for instance, I told him, I'm like, you know, that's not really soccer playing clothes. You want to keep them nice and stuff, so no sliding on your knees and wrecking your shoes and stuff. So we'll see what happens. It might get destroyed. I don't really care, because anything I've been sending to his mom's house, like, that either doesn't return or whatever. She didn't even have him wear back his proper shoes. So I had to go out over the weekend and we bought him some new shoes and stuff. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is. But I know, like, as we were leaving, my dad saw him and he was like, he's gonna wear that? Really? I'm like, yeah, why not? Like, shit, man. Like, and Grant is, I don't know what it's called, but he's becoming quite the, like, you know, little hipster. So, you know, I found out, I mentioned this, I think, in another video, but his mom took him to go get a haircut, and I found out that Grant used some of his birthday money, or all of his birthday money, to upgrade his haircut. So he upgraded it with the hot towel, shampoo, and massage or something like that. I think they went to Sports Clips. And, you know, he's 6 years old. That's pretty amazing. And I just thought that it was he could be blossoming into like, a nice little young gentleman. And that's what I want. Him and I had a talk about, other people and other kids and stuff, and how they do things that, we call them jerks. I said, when I was sitting next to the one kid, he just kept hitting me and elbowing me on purpose and stuff. And Grant said, well, why is he doing that? I said, well, it's because he's a jerk. Jerks do stupid stuff like that and they think that it's funny. It's not funny. And, I said that's learned behavior. I told Grant, I said, he most likely learned that from his daddy. And I said, I'm not like that. I'm not going to teach you to be like that. And I'm not going to advocate that sort of behavior. It's not funny to act like a jerk. It's not funny to push people and hit people and whatever and try to get cheap shots in and stuff. It's being a jerk. So this is all going to tie in together and stuff and all that. And I told him too today, he's like, I don't really like going to school. I'm like, well, you know what, Grant? I know you don't like going to school, but you have to go to school to become smart. And I said, that's how Daddy is so wicked smart. And I told him that, he's like, did you go to high school? And I said, well, Grant, I went to grade school, I went to high school, and I went to college. And he's like, you went to high school? He's like, how was it? Was it fun? And I was just like, yeah, it was a lot of fun. And I told him, I said, Grant, what's the cool part about high school is once you turn 16, as long as you can pass a test and earn your license, you can drive. And he's like, I can drive? I'm like, yeah, and once you're 16 years old. So we did the math. I said, Grant, how many more years until you turn 16? And he was guessing. He's like, 4, 3, 6. So we counted. We started at 6 because he's 6 years old, and we counted from 6 up to 16. And I held out all my fingers, and basically at the end of that, I had 10 fingers up. So I said, Grant, how many years until you turn 16? And he counted my fingers, and he said 10. So I said 6 plus 10 is 16. And then I told him, I'm like, Grant, it's very important that over the next 10 years, you save up your money. I told him, I said, Grant, once you turn 16, you're going to be buying your own car. And I said, cars are a lot of money. And I said, there's cars that are nicer than others, and there's cars that are crappier than others. And I told him, like, the ones that are all rusted out and breaking, those cars are little money. And I said, the nice new cars and shiny cars, those are a lot of money. So then he asked me how much a Dodge Challenger is. And I told him, oh, those are a lot of money. He said, how much? I said, I don't know, buddy. It depends on which one you get and what engine is inside of it. And he said, you know what? I'm going to ask Uncle Johnny. Uncle Johnny has a Dodge Challenger. He'll know. So, these are things that my parents instilled in me when I was young. And that's how I had to get through life, even to this day. So, with driving and all that, like, I literally took my own, like, $3,500 and paid it towards buying a new car, or not a new car, but a used junker car in high school. So when I turned 16, I bought my own car. When I turned 16, I paid for my own gas. When I turned 16, I've been paying for my own insurance. I was on my parents' insurance plan, but they did the math and did all the numbers and figured out how much my portion was, and I paid it. And that's how I've survived. And that's, I guess maybe that's a little bit of insight as to why I'm so crazy over the cryptocurrency thing and saving and all these different things, my 401k retirement and all that. Because all those things that I've been doing for years now have saved my ass. I don't know what I would do if I didn't have a 401k that I was able to borrow money from. I wouldn't have this nice car. I wouldn't have been able to pay for a lawyer. I probably would not have realistically had as much time or gotten what I got out of the trial with in terms of visitation and time with Grant. I mean, that's that's reality. And you know, a lot of times, like when I'm down on myself and I look at all my debt and bills and stuff, everyone has bills. Like, you can't really avoid that. I mean, you can, but it's not much of a life. It's definitely not a life worth living that I would want to be in. But with the systems that you set in place, they're kind of like safety nets. So that's having a 401k that you can tap if needed. That's having a savings account that you can tap if needed. That's having cash available that you can tap if needed. All these things are super, very important, and they're all things that I don't want to say I take for granted, but they've always been there because I've learned to implement them like that. And these are like the most important things that I still have yet and want to teach Grant, is just how important finances and saving and planning for the future are. You know, Grant made a comment, and he said, because I told him, I said, you're going to have to save up for the next 10 years so you can buy your own car. And he says, well, maybe I'll just wait until I die, and I'll just get your car. And I said, Grant, I'm not going to die anytime soon. So I said, you're going to have to get your own car. And he said, okay. And those are the conversations that I wish I could put on my videos and stuff. Like, I really wish that I had some sort of camera for those moments and stuff. And just hearing his thought process and hearing him work things out in his head is just really amazing, you know. And I told him, I said, Grant, that's why you have so many banks at the house. You know, I just gave him a quarter bank that my uncle made. I have one that my brother had made since I was Grant's age. And it basically is just a vertical clear tube bank with a slot at the very top, and you insert your quarters at the top and they stack up, and it holds $100 worth of quarters. And you know, I told him, you know, I'm like, Grant, you know, you got to start saving and stuff. And he's like, he told me how his stepbrother has more money than him, and his stepbrother has 3 piggy banks and Grant only has 1 or whatever. And I said, well, Grant, you're gonna have to start working on that. It's important stuff. And you know, I just dropped him off to his mom, so I have no follow-up to that. I have no anything until next week. But what I can do is start working on it and stuff, and maybe like probably 2018, teach him a little bit about cryptocurrency and stuff like that. So I'm excited about this, though. These are like really, really important things, and these are things that I don't know why, but a lot of parents just don't teach them. And I firmly believe it's because a lot of parents don't follow any sort of solid financial advice or planning themselves. And you know, you guys that have been following me, you know that, like, I'm pretty transparent with my bills and what things cost and what I've made and all this type of stuff, to the point where, like, you guys know that I'm not rich. And Grant directly asked me that question. He said, well, he's like, so if you save up a lot of your money, then are you rich? And I said, yeah, that's when you become rich. And then he asked me if I was rich, and I just was like, well, Grant, I'm close. And that's what I feel like. I feel like I'm close. You know, this is gonna be a very interesting year, to say the least. You know, it's gonna be the year of completely eradicating debt, and I believe it's gonna be for good. If I can make some sound financial decisions here, I also believe that, like, I can, you know, buy some nice things. And these are the things that I'm going to have to teach Grant and explain to him, like, you know, if you want nice things, it's not bad to have or want nice things, but you're not only going to have to work for it, but you're going to have to earn it. And let's say, you know, you make $10 and you want something that's $10. Well, is it smart? Is it a good decision to spend all of your money on one thing? Or maybe wait until you have more money and then spend the $10 just in case you need that $10 for something else. So life lessons, and it's gonna be good. It's gonna be fun. The next like year or two, I think he's gonna start realizing more and more, like, okay, well, you know, I'm gonna have to do like stuff and do things and work hard and all that to get what he wants. So that's what it's gonna come down to. But we're gonna start focusing more this year on chores and all that type of stuff, and maybe I'll give him some allowance, maybe, I don't know, a couple dollars a week or something, I don't really know. And we're gonna have to kind of figure out a system that works for him, works for me, because this, like, going to the store every time and asking for toys and this and that and begging and whining and throwing fits and all that isn't working. It's not productive. It's not good for him. It's not good for me. And it's not teaching him anything. It's teaching him to be a whiny bitch versus going out and getting it for himself. So that's kind of where we're at. Yeah, stay tuned for more. Alright, we got a beautiful day here. Just went and got some Jason's Deli lunch with Nico. He's moving his car closer because apparently that was too far away. I don't know, it was like $1 in gas just to do that. And beautiful. It's like 50 degrees out, no wind. Sun makes it a little bit warmer. Doing well. Alright, just getting out of work for the day. It's about 5 o'clock, a little later than I wanted to get out. I wanted to get out about 4:45. I'm going to give Vicky a call in just a little bit here. But man, today was quite the crazy day for crypto. We saw the dip, and everyone's kind of waiting to see what happens next. So Bitcoin hit an all-time high. It was at like $11,200 or something like that, where I last saw it. Ether, I think Ether was over 500 bucks. Yeah, so it dipped down. Bitcoin dropped, I think at one point down to like $9,200 or something like that. Ether dropped almost down to 400. It looks like this will be our new support level. And yeah, I'm looking into buying some altcoins for cheap now. So I've set up some limit orders for pay and salt. So I want to buy 29 salt and 50 pay. So I'm trying to get pay for $2 a piece and trying to get the salt for what was it, $3, I think $3.50 a piece. So we're gonna try that, or maybe it was $3. I just set them up. I don't know if they'll trigger and actually buy or not, but it would be nice if they do. So basically I sent $200 worth of Bitcoin over to Bittrex, set up these orders, and just gonna let them sit, and if those alts dip down enough, I'll pick them up. So yeah, 50 pay isn't much. Pay is not going to be doing anything for a long ass time. So I think my new strat, so but previously, or earlier this year, my big thing was on you know, buying into ICOs and then selling them after like 10x profit or whatever. So I think my next thing is going to be to buy and hold now. So mainly because I now have BitConnect. So before, ICOs are like my income. Now I have BitConnect paying out daily, even Hexabot paying out daily or weekly or whatever. I can just let it sit and marinate, let those ICOs sit and marinate. So that's like what I'm doing with the Hive and Karma token and all that type of stuff. So we're gonna see kind of how this all pans out, how it works out. As long as the main coins live on and keep growing and gaining, the alts will follow suit. They might not grow or gain as much, but we'll see. We'll see. It's one of those things, though. Fuck yeah! It's my buddy Nico just driving by, flicking me off. But so I am now headed home. I gotta cut this short though. I gotta stop, pick up some food on the way home, and give Vicky a call and all that noise. So stay tuned for more.